We're following another news alert tonight. Baton Rouge rapper Cleezy5, whose real name is Wes Clark, is dead after a shooting this afternoon in Baton Rouge.
Sources close to the WBRZ investigative unit say Clark was shot outside of a gym along Woodcrest Drive. News 2's Joe Collins has reaction tonight from neighbors.
Yeah, Sylvia, Michael, the shooting came as a shock to many residents who tell me that is usually a quiet area.
Around 12:30 p.m., Baton Rouge police responded to a shooting along Woodcrest Drive just off of Greenwell Springs Road. Sources close to the WBRZ investigative unit say that Wes Clark was killed in a shooting outside of a gym along Woodcrest. Clark, who is known by his rap name Cleezy5, has ties with TBG, the Top Boy Guerrilla Rap Collective, and Baton Rouge rapper Fredo Bang. Wednesday afternoon, police units and a coroner's van sat outside the building. Several people who live near the gym say they were in shock when they saw the caution tape.
On the night of April 29, 2026, another wave of grief and confusion moved through Baton Rouge after 46-year-old Wes Clark was fatally shot under circumstances that quickly became the subject of street discussion, social media speculation, and community concern. As police tape surrounded the scene and flashing lights filled the area, residents nearby described hearing multiple gunshots echo through the neighborhood before sirens rushed in moments later. Within hours, rumors began spreading online across Facebook, Instagram, and local Baton Rouge pages, with many trying to piece together what had happened before law enforcement had publicly released full details. According to early reports from Baton Rouge authorities, officers responded to calls reporting a shooting involving an adult male victim, later identified as Wes Clark. Emergency responders attempted life-saving measures at the scene, but Clark ultimately died from his injuries. Investigators secured the area and began collecting shell casings, witness statements, surveillance footage, and forensic evidence, while detectives worked to determine whether the shooting was targeted, retaliatory, or connected to a larger dispute. Officials initially released limited information, which fueled heavy speculation online throughout the city. Neighbors in the surrounding area later described the atmosphere as tense and chaotic immediately following the gunfire. Several residents reportedly stated they heard arguing or rapid movement moments before shots rang out, while others claimed they saw vehicles speeding away from the area shortly afterward. As often happens in Baton Rouge homicide investigations, unofficial accounts and street rumors began circulating almost immediately. Some social media users suggested the shooting may have been tied to personal conflicts or unresolved disputes, while others warned people not to spread unverified information before investigators completed their work. At the center of the discussion was the growing frustration many residents feel over recurring violence affecting Baton Rouge communities. As news of Clark's death spread online, local Instagram pages and Facebook groups filled with reactions from people expressing shock, condolences, anger, and speculation. Some posts described Wes Clark as someone known throughout parts of Baton Rouge, while others reflected on how violence continues affecting families across generations in Louisiana neighborhoods already dealing with poverty, trauma, and long-standing instability. Several social media users criticized how quickly rumors spread after fatal shootings, arguing that online speculation often worsens tensions and creates additional pain for families trying to process loss in real time. Law enforcement officials urged the public to allow detectives to complete their investigation and encouraged anyone with information, surveillance footage, or eyewitness accounts to contact authorities anonymously through Crime Stoppers. Baton Rouge police and other agencies involved in the case reportedly focused on reconstructing Clark's final moments, examining possible motives, and identifying everyone who may have been present before or during the shooting. Detectives also looked into digital evidence and social media activity, which has increasingly become part of modern homicide investigations due to the role online disputes and public interactions sometimes play before violent incidents occur. The killing of Wes Clark also reignited larger conversations across Baton Rouge about violent crime, retaliation cycles, and the emotional toll shootings continue to have on local communities. Residents interviewed after the incident expressed exhaustion over how frequently deadly violence has become normalized in certain areas. Some community members argued that deeper investment in youth programs, mental health resources, and economic opportunities is needed to reduce violence long term, while others called for stronger law enforcement responses and faster intervention before conflicts escalate into shootings. As investigators continued gathering evidence, many questions remained unanswered publicly. People online debated possible motives, relationships, and street affiliations, but authorities cautioned against treating rumors as facts. In many high-profile Baton Rouge cases, misinformation spreads rapidly online before official findings are released, making it difficult for communities to separate verified information from speculation. Detectives reportedly continued interviewing witnesses and reviewing surveillance footage in an effort to establish a clearer timeline of events leading up to Clark's death. For family members and loved ones, however, the investigation represented something far more personal than online discussion or public controversy. Another life had been lost to gun violence, leaving behind grief, unanswered questions, and emotional devastation. Community members held conversations online and offline about the need for healing, accountability, and peace in neighborhoods increasingly impacted by cycles of violence and retaliation. The death of West Clark became yet another painful reminder of the broader violence affecting Baton Rouge and many cities across America. While police worked to determine exactly what happened on April 29, 2026, residents throughout the city were left confronting familiar feelings of fear, frustration, sadness, and uncertainty about how many more lives will be lost before lasting solutions emerge. Condolences continue to be extended to the family, friends, and loved ones of West Clark, as well as to the Baton Rouge community affected by the tragedy. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding the shooting, the loss of human life leaves lasting pain behind for families, neighborhoods, and everyone connected to the people involved. My condolences go out to the family, friends, and loved ones of Wes Clark, also known as Cleezy5. During this difficult time, thoughts and prayers remain with everyone affected by this tragic loss. No matter the circumstances surrounding the case, the loss of a life leaves pain that impacts families, communities, and those closest to the person involved. May his loved ones find strength, peace, and support as they continue navigating this heartbreaking situation.